Flying with the Pope on his plane was Crux Rome Bureau Chief Ines San Martin. She joins us now from the Eternal City. Ines, thank you so much as always for being with us. You know, the Pope's answer about walls and bridges will resonate in the United States as President Trump pushes for a southern border wall. Was the Holy Father sending a message to the White House?
He was actually sending a message not only to the White House, but to every government around the world that is contemplating walls and fences as a solution to the ongoing migrant crisis. That has to be said, at least, doesn't only impact the United States. There is a huge migrant crisis in Europe too. And we're seeing more and more countries, including, for instance, Spain, putting up walls and fences to make sure that migrants don't come in.
Now, the migrant issue, a big one on this in-flight press conference. In another question, the Pope was asked for his reaction to anti-immigrant policies in Europe, which have been supported by mostly Christian voters. What did he have to say to that?
Well, Liz, what he had to say to that is that you cannot really call yourself a Christian and treat migrants the way some are being treated here in Europe, because at the end of the day, as the gospel and the Bible says, you were yourself a migrant in Egypt. This is something Pope Francis has reminded us of very often, and he's also spoke about the importance of integrating migrants, integrating those who are fleeing hunger, who are fleeing war, who are fleeing persecution into Europe. He understands that we cannot have an open border policy, but he also wants to see a Europe that is a mother, not a grandmother, a Europe that is willing to help those in need, not only by welcoming and integrating, but also by helping them be able to stay in their country and investing in countries that today have been affected by European policies, like, for instance, the selling of weapons to Saudi Arabia that are then used in Yemen to kill children. This is something he said, and it was very impactful for us listening.
Other comments that a lot of people are talking about. Francis talking to reporters about the case of French Cardinal Philippe Barbarin, who was convicted of failing to report sexual abuse to authorities. Now, the Cardinal insists he's innocent. He's appealing the verdict. The Holy Father offering support, didn't he?
Yes, well, he basically said that he doesn't know if Barbarin is innocent or not. He said we'll have to see if he's innocent. But he did say that at the end of the day, everyone has the right to be presumed innocent until their trial is actually over. As you said, Barbarin has appealed his sentencing of 6 months that's been withheld, so he's not going to go to prison because he does think he's innocent. And Pope Francis is willing to give Barbarin that international right, judiciary right that he has, which is to be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Now, talking to you about one of the main reasons why the Holy Father did travel over the weekend, what did he have to say about his mission to Morocco and its impact on Christian-Muslim dialogue?
It was actually very interesting, Liz, because this is a Pope who is very committed to, as you say, the Christian-Muslim dialogues and about tending bridges, not only of words or theology or written text, but actual friendship between Muslims and Christians. And this was yet another step, a continuation of a journey that Pope Francis began when he was in Egypt in 2017 and continued last February when he took us all to the United Arab Emirates. He had a very positive view of Morocco. He said he was very happy with what he had seen and what he had lived in Morocco. And he also spoke about the importance of being understanding towards Islam, because there's a lot of people in the West who, for instance, like to bring up into his attention, and this is something that he was asked about, the fact that there are people in Muslim countries who are not allowed to convert to Christianity. Pope Francis says that this is part of a freedom of conscience, that it's evolving in the Muslim world, but he's also warned about the fact that it's devolving in many Christian countries. He spoke specifically about the fact that Christian doctors in Christian hospitals are being deprived from the right of objection of conscience, for instance, when it comes to euthanasia.
Ines, there was so much to cover, and as always, you do that so well. Thank you so much for all that insight. Great talking to you.
Thank you, Liz.